你好. Hello in Mandarin Chinese. Welcome to Chinese Home Cooking Weeknight Show. Our demonstration today is how to make paratha dough. Indian flatbread that is not leavened has many names depending on many factors such as the type of flours, how flours are processed, how the bread is cooked, and whether or not the bread is stuffed with something else. In an effort to avoid confusion, I'm using paratha as the generic name for any kinds of unleavened Indian flatbread, regardless of the factors. People like paratha but stay away from making it because of the messiness and time consuming in making the dough. Let me show you a way that messiness is so much reduced and time is so much less consumed that you can actually make it at a busy weeknight. Now, let's get started. 3 tablespoons cooking oil for helping to make the dough as well as for cooking. 1 heat resist cooking brush made out of leek. Previously, I did a show on how to DIY cooking brush. If you do a search on my channel, you should be able to find it. 1 cup all-purpose flour for making 4 pieces paratha. Half cup warm water. You may need a little bit less or a little bit more depending on the weather and the room temperature. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon cooking oil as an ingredient. First, we are going to mix well the dry ingredients: sugar, salt. Mix well with the spoon. Then we're going to mix in wet ingredients. 1 tablespoon cooking oil, and mix well. And then we're going to add the water a little bit at a time. And until all the flours has become lumps or flakes. I'm using a fork. You can use chopsticks if you prefer. So this way you don't have to use your hands and no mess. Okay, looks like all the flours has become lumps or flakes. Now we are ready to use our hands now. We are going to knead the dough for about a minute until everything will come together as one piece. It's been a minute. The dough has come together as one piece, though the surface is not very smooth. Don't worry, it will become smooth. We are brushing some oil on the surface of the dough to prevent dryness Also, we're going to cover up with a wet towel or wet paper towel in my case, and have the dough rest for 5 minutes. The dough has been rested for 5 minutes now. It's much softer and smooth. And we're going to knead for another minute. We have just finished kneading the dough for another minute. The dough is really soft and smooth, just like the baby bottom. Now we're going to brush oil again on the surface to prevent dry skin, and cover it up with a wet paper towel. Now the dough is rested and ready to use.